So students, let us take this question number 7, fifth one. Now there you see, you are given the values of small p, q, r. You have to construct a triangle where you are given small p, q and r. So you have to see, so make a rough figure, okay? So you make a rough figure that what is capital P, Q, R triangle. You take a triangle, so capital P, Q, R. Now what we discussed previous class, your small p will lie opposite to capital P. Small p will be opposite to the vertex capital P. Opposite to the vertex Q will be the small letter Q side, and likewise manner opposite to capital R you will have the small r. So I repeat once more, and if you just take in the same way, if it is a triangle, let's say capital A, we have discussed before, so opposite capital A you will find the small a letter. So that is what I have written here. You see, P lies opposite to angle P, Q lies opposite to angle Q, and R lies opposite to angle R. Now with this data we have to construct the triangle. So with that we are constructing the triangle. So here you see PQR is the triangle. So take the base QR, which is small p, 6.5 centimeter. Then R means this PQ, that is 8.2. So we will take an arc of 8.2 and cut from here 8.2. Then another one is the third side 7.3 centimeter. Third side is 7.3. So take an arc of 7.3, cut from R. You get the vertex P. The triangle is complete, and you should write the length of the sides that I have written here, length of the sides. So here no perpendicular bisector, nothing of that kind, simple triangle. But what you are asked, if you see the question, you have to measure the angles, children. Angle has to be measured here. Now how do we measure the angle? So what we do, you see, it may not be very clear here. So you have the protector, so you have to put the protector here. Let's say I want to measure that angle Q. So taking this QR as the baseline, I will put the protector over here. And when you are putting the protector over here, so the anti-clockwise angle will be measured anti-clockwise. This angle will be measured and you will have to read the lower inner value, because if you look at the protector, you will find that from the right side 0, 10, 20, 30, and beyond that it is starting that 160, 170, 180. So when you are keeping it this way, that means this vertex Q should be the center, should be the middle line of that protector. Middle line of the protector should fall on that vertex Q, and then the angle is to be measured anti-clockwise. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, like that if you see. So now how do we name an angle? Naming of an angle means this will be our letter has to be in the middle. Then P and R can be written in any order. So angle PQR, angle PQR or angle RQP. So that is the middle angle where Q is written in the middle and P and then RP. So on measuring anti-clockwise direction, this is coming up as 59 degree. This angle coming as 59. Then let's say I come to measure that angle R. So when you want to measure angle R, then you have to keep it this way, and then you will be measuring clockwise. So when you measure clockwise, you have to read the outer value. So if you keep it here, then you will have to measure in the clockwise direction, and this angle R means the last angle coming up as 73 degree. So you have to keep it here in this order. You have to keep this baseline, and you can just see as I have kept this baseline, and then you have to read the outer value 10, 20, 30, 40. So this line coinciding with which value in the protector, you have to read this line value in the protector. So coming 73. Now the third angle left, which is P, which is the first angle I have written, because I told you P has to be in the center. Q and R can be written in any order. So this angle can be named as QPR or RPQ also. So I have taken it as QPR. So QPR. Now there are two ways how this angle P can be measured. So you have to turn the copy. This way. You turn the copy this way, you consider this as the baseline. So if you are considering this again as the baseline, that would be simple. You consider this as the baseline. So you are measuring the angle in the anti-clockwise direction, means you have to read the inner value 10, 20, 30. That way it is coming up as 48 degree. As you can see, the first angle is measuring 48. So if you consider this as the baseline, then you have to read the inner value anti-clockwise. If you consider this as the baseline, then if you keep it this way, then you have to measure the angle in the clockwise direction, then you have to measure the angle in the clockwise direction. So your choice, whichever way you do. As I told you, the beginning one only I feel it easier. I consider this as the baseline, and I keep my protector this way, and then I try to read that this is the line. So what is the reading of this line? So you will see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, little close to 50. So little close to 50, when you read, that is coming as 48 degree. That angle is coming up as 48 degree. Now geometry means your work must be very neat and clean. Pencil must be very thin pencil. One pencil you keep for the drawing of the arc, and another pencil you keep for the drawing of the lines. So don't use the same pencil. So drawing of the lines you keep a separate, and in the compass you keep one pencil separate, so that your lines will be thinner. Thinner lines means figure will be perfect. Then the angles will come correctly. And if the work is correct, angles correctly, all these three sum or the addition of the three angles should give you 180 degree. That is sum of angles in a triangle. Three angles in a triangle, we are having 180 degree. There may be little error, doesn't matter. Sometimes if your work is not correct, maybe suppose if this angle comes up 49, then this will be 181, doesn't matter. But whatever measurement you are getting, you should record. So and adding, if it comes 181, maybe if you have recorded this as 47, then this will come 179. But when you are asked to measure the angle, you should write what it is coming. Maybe little error, but doesn't matter. You write what you are getting. Next one, student, will be that number 10. Let us take that number 10. So, or we could take number 9 also. Let us take the next one, number 9. So in number 9, again same thing, that is they are asking you, number 9 is a equilateral triangle. Number 9 equilateral means all the three sides equal. So therefore I have not drawn any rough figure, no need. You take the base as 8.2. So PQR will be the triangle. You can draw a rough figure if you want. PQR. So let us take the base QR 8.2. Measure this length, and taking that arc only once I will cut from here, then I will cut from here. So I will get the vertex P, because all the three sides of the triangle will have the same length. So first baseline, taking this arc, cut from here and once from here. So all the three sides equal. That equilateral triangle is ready, number 9. Here they are asking you to draw the perpendicular. So in a triangle, you know there are three vertices, 1, 2, 3. So from each vertex I can draw a perpendicular on the opposite side. So from here I can draw a perpendicular on the opposite side. Now how to draw a perpendicular? Previous class we have discussed the perpendicular bisector. So here what you do, perpendicular from P, you take an arc big enough that it will cut the opposite line at 2 points, as I have done here. So from P with an arc you cut, so it is cutting the line QR at 2 points. Then you make the arc, because big arc you make it little less. Having made the arc less, from this point I will cut, and then I will cut from this point. So I am getting this. Now when this point is joined to that vertex P, so this line is the perpendicular, this line perpendicular. But when we measure the length measurement will be up to here. That is why you see within the triangle I have taken this as straight line, and that extra part I have shown as a dotted line. So in this question they have not asked you to measure the length, but in the in next one, number 10, they have asked you to, so I have done it here. So when it comes to measuring the length of the perpendicular, it will be from the vertex P up to this line. So when you measure this length, you can give a name. Let's say this point could have been named as D, or let's say XYZ. So PX, because from 3 vertex there will be 3 perpendicular. So you could have named this as PX. So okay, you could have named this point as X. So from here to here, first perpendicular PX. So that's why I have written, you see, perpendicular from P on QR, giving us a length of 7.1. In the same manner, when I have to draw the perpendicular from the second vertex, same thing. From here, take an arc which cuts the opposite side at 2 distinct points. From here it will cut at 2 distinct points. Reduce the length of the arc, otherwise it will go very far. Reduce the length of the arc, and from this point you cut once, and the same work you do from the other point. From this point you cut. So one arc, cutting the line at 2 points, reduce the length of the arc. From here you cut once, and from here you cut once. Join, and again the same way when you measure the length here, since the triangle is equilateral, all the perpendiculars will measure the same length. So from here to here. So from here to here, that's a straight line. That's the extra part I have taken dotted line. So measurement will be from here to here only. As I have written, you can see perpendicular from Q on PR, from the point Q on PR. And the same manner, you draw the perpendicular from the vertex R. What you will see that they will pass through a same comb. Now if you look at it here, student, there is little error. They are not passing very perfectly, because I have drawn after a long time, many years I am doing construction, and let's say in a hurry I did, and you see here lines are thick. My pencil was not very sharp that time. So little error, it should not a very perfect work, but doesn't matter. More or less it is little. So if you work perfectly, then they will pass through a common point. All the 3 perpendiculars will pass through a common point. That is what I have written here. You can see all the 3 perpendiculars dropped or drawn from the 3 vertices of the triangle meet at a common point or pass through a common point. Pass through a common point. Now the next one, if you see, children, this is number 10. So here I told you it is simple, because they are asking you an equilateral triangle. Previous one was equilateral, here equilateral, isosceles. So base is given 6 centimeter. Base given 6 and the equal sides are given as 8. Equal sides are given as 8. So what will happen? From here you take an arc of 8 centimeter. From here you take an arc of 8 centimeter. Cut, get that vertex A. Complete the triangle. Previous triangle number 9, they had asked you to the perpendicular from all the 3 vertices. Here only from A on BC they have asked. Number 10, if you see the question, draw an isosceles. Okay, from A draw a perpendicular to BC and measure its length. So from A to BC, again the same work what we did in the previous sum. From A you cut an arc which should cut the line at 2 distinct points. From A I am cutting this arc. Then let me make the arc little less. Whatever arc I had taken, I will reduce it. Once I will cut from this point, this on, and next I will cut from this point. So they are cutting here. Join them, perpendicular. Measurement of the length will be from here to here only, within the triangle. So I have written here, perpendicular from A to BC measures or has a length of 7.4. From A up to here only. So the perpendicular will be from here to here, 7.4. Number 10 I am discussing. One more thing they have asked which I have not done, that is a kind of homework for you. You see the question, also measure each angle of the triangle. So what I explained to you, you keep the protector here this way, anti-clockwise direction take, read the lower value, that will give you angle B. Then in the same manner you measure angle C. C will be, you have to measure in the clockwise direction. You see what is the value of this line. Now according to me what it appears is roughly 70 degree. See, let's say this angle roughly coming 70. So you see this angle on the left coming 70, this angle on the right also roughly coming 70. Why? In an isosceles triangle, base angles are equal. In an isosceles triangle, sides are equal. Base angles will have the same value. That is why they are coming 70, 70. So 70, 70, 140. Third angle should measure 40 degree. Then the sum of angles in a triangle will be 180. So the third angle you measure and check whether it is coming 40 or not. 70, 70 I have shown. This one you measure and check whether it is coming 40. Then you know that okay, your work is correct. So I have done this. For your practice, you are supposed to do these sums in your copy and check. If you do, then only your hands will be set, children. If you do, then your hands will be set.